Hey, Mitch.
Oh, hi, Ed. What are you doing today?
Oh, I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about the Phantom. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah. Well, why are you wearing that mask, Ed?
What do you mean? This is what the Phantom wears. Phantom of the
No, no,
Opera, Music of the Night, Michael
no,
Crawford.
no, 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 not Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom. The Phantom.
What? But I
Yeah,
thought I've got everything prepared for Phantom of the Opera.
no, no, no,
Andrew
no, no,
Lloyd
no, no.
Webber
It's
and
the
everything.
no, the guy in the purple suit with the mask on.
Yeah,
Rides a
no, I'm
horse.
talking about Masquerade and
No, 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 no. It was a 1996 movie with Billy Zane, Christy Swanson, action adventure.
well, they've got
That
the
type of
mask
thing.
and everything. I've got everything prepared
No,
here, ready to
no, no,
go.
cut it out, Ed. Cut it out. Just
What?
drop it. We're not doing the Phantom of the
Are you
Opera. It's not a
sure? You
Broadway.
want you want me to drop it?
Drop it.
All right. Let's just start the show. Hi, this is Ed Dollister,
And this is Mitch Halleck.
and welcome to another exciting episode of Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure, and our first for 2025. Happy New Year if you're watching that at the start of the year. You might be watching this in 2078, so who knows if what's going on there. Anyway, before we start today's topic, Mitch, how can you find out a little bit about what we do here?
Oh, and it is easy as wearing a super tight fitting spandex purple outfit that snugs every nook and cranny of your manhood. All you have to do is hit the button below, and you too will be subscribed to Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure as we go on a journey back to the past, look at TV, movie, toys, and more right here on YouTube. Where are we going today, Ed?
We're heading to 1996, but via 1936, 1937, 1938, the late 30s, and the movie adaptation of The Phantom. I love
Right.
this movie when it came out in 1996. Unfortunately, not many people did. Obviously, it's got a rich history, the comic book by Lee Falk, but the movie didn't do so well. Did you see this movie when it came out in cinemas?
I did, Ed, as being a comic book aficionado and lover of all things pulpy. I went to see this movie, and
Especially your
again,
orange juice.
on my orange juice, I was mystified, just like I was with the Rocketeer, the Shadow, and now this. There's like a certain genre of film, 30s type of
Mhm.
nostalgia, action adventure superhero. Doc Savage is one too, I guess. But they never found their audience, and they're quality made, well acted, well produced, good production values. Kind of little hammy performances on some of the actors, but other than that, I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know why it didn't do well.
I
Just
I totally understand. I don't either. Let's see what Leonard Maltin said because it's 1996, and we'll see what he says of the Phantom. Lead-footed emulation of Saturday matinee serials using
ooh,
Lee Falk's masked comic strip hero, The Ghost Who Walks, who starred in a bona fide serial in 1943.
mhm.
His longtime attempt to vanquish a society of evil puts him face to face with megalomaniac Xander Drax, a campy Treat Williams. Well meaning Indiana Jones wannabe has no energy and offers large scale stunts without knowing how to stage them. 2 stars.
Oh, that's kind of mean spirited.
I think so. This film was, I really enjoyed it, and we watched it again the other night on Apple TV in HD. It's got directed by Simon Windsor, the Australian director who directed, amongst other things, Free Willy, The Man from Snowy
Oh,
River.
oh, I
Remember,
like that movie.
remember Daryl? Was that with Noah Hathaway? Hathaway? No, Noah. D A
The
R Y
robot,
L. He was a
D
robot. Yeah.
dot A. Yeah, it
Yes.
was like, yeah, 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 yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
did. He did Quigley Down Under as well.
Wow,
Um,
Tom Selleck in the
Yeah,
big
he's a
gun.
great
Yeah.
great Australian director. So good director. It was written by Jeffrey Boehm, who Indiana
Oh,
Jones fans will know as
Crystal
the
Skull.
writer of Last Crusade. Indiana
Last
Jones
Crusade.
and the
I'm
Last
sorry.
Crusade.
I got Crystal Skulls on the mind because that's a plot point in this movie.
It is. It is the Skulls of Tuganda. And it's got the novelization, which I have here, which I
Oh,
got, is by guess who? Think
oh,
Indiana
don't tell me.
Jones, not Alan Dean Foster.
Rob McGregor.
Rob McGregor.
Right. Alan Dean Foster had that decade off, so they gave it to McGregor. And
So
I never read the novelization. How is it? Is it good?
It's got some expanded scenes in it. It
Yeah, I
is good. I
figured.
haven't read it since, boy, 1996. So um and it's a really good read. It's a great fun comic book film. Is it
Yeah.
going to change the world? No, but it's beautifully shot. The production design is on point. It's
Yep.
really well done. The visual effects are pretty good for 1996. There's some exciting stunt work in there. It's filmed in Australia, in Thailand, and also in California. In fact, Christy Swanson's
Yes.
house is actually the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion
Oh.
is the
Oh.
exterior of that. So it's got all these great elements, and of course, it's got a really good cast. I think really likable. Billy Zane as the Phantom or Kit
Mhm.
Walker, who worked out for a year to get his body. They were going to do a bit of a bodysuit.
That's what we do here on the show. No one.
I know, that's right. And that was a bit Christopher Reeve there doing his, working out, at the
Yeah.
end of Superman 2.
Don't
Um,
get the kids crazy, Ed.
sorry. Billy Zane was fantastic. He was, I suppose, he hadn't done Titanic yet. That was
No, that was
97, wasn't it? That
99.
was the
Yeah.
97. Oh, yeah.
98, 99. Yeah, yeah.
97, I think it was, because
Was
it
it?
came out the same year as the Star Wars special edition. Um,
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking
but,
of Phantom Menace.
audiences probably knew him from
Oh,
Back to
Twin
the
Peaks.
Future.
Well, no, I knew him from, he was on Twin Peaks, I think, too.
I
He
thought,
was around. I knew Billy Zane. I know he's one of Biff's hench guys over in
yes.
that Back to the Future, too.
So you had him. You had the wonderful Treat Williams, who just grew up around the corner in Connecticut.
Right
Did you
down
know
their
that?
street in Connecticut, Darien, Connecticut. God rest his soul. Right
Yes.
down the road from us, Darien. I know
Yeah.
him.
So
Yeah.
playing Xander Drax. And what I like about this movie is it has shades of the Jeffrey Boehm screenplay is
Yeah.
a little tongue in cheek. It was originally actually going to be directed by Joe Dante, and he's still
Oh,
he's got a producing credit. And he was saying, he did it, but they did it all tongue in cheek. There was going to be a dragon, and then
well,
they
you know
kept.
what? I saw Doc Savage. That was done tongue in cheek, kind of like, campy. I'm glad
Yes.
that as much as I like Joe Dante, knowing that now, I'm glad they didn't pick him because, no, it would have been over the
I
top.
think this is the right level of a little bit tongue in cheek, but it still plays it seriously. It's that
Yeah. Yeah.
verisimilitude, like Christopher Richard Donner had
Richard
for
Donner.
Superman,
Yeah, I
I
know.
think. So you had Christy Swanson, who
Yep.
was, I think she was the original Buffy, wasn't she?
She was the original Buffy. She was also at Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con, my show. But she was here. And in fact, I had another star, well, not a star, but another actor in that film, John Cotapiece, who was the cab driver.
Al the
Heavy Set
cabbie.
Yeah, with the white hair. He just passed away like a week ago, unfortunately. He was at my show. And this year, Billy Zane will be here. If you're watching this before
Woohoo!
August 8th, you can come and meet the Phantom himself. But one of the other actors is it uh, Jeffrey Remar?
James Remar.
James Remar.
He's got
He's one
that
of the bad
gravelly
guys.
voice.
He's the guy that was in 48 Hours. You've seen him in a million shows. Sex in the City. He was in The
Yes.
Warriors. He's on this show. And you mentioned already Treat Williams. But there's another actor that's in this movie. It's
You've
not.
got Robert Colby, who's the head of the Jungle Patrol, who's an Australian actor who I know from many Australian TV series and the like. Um,
No, but I was thinking, isn't Michael Douglas's wife? She's not in this, is she?
you are thinking of Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Yes.
plays
No?
who plays Sala, one of the air
The pirate.
pirates.
Yeah.
And of course, she was cast because she was in the episode 1917 of the Young
With
Indiana
Indiana
Jones
Jones.
Chronicles that
Yeah.
Simon Windsor directed.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
see, it's all connected. Young
It's all
Indiana
connected. There's a lot of
Jones.
Indiana Jones connections in here. And of course, there's that Indiana Jones feel. It's only
Yes.
I think it was $40 million,
Did it make its
$45
money
million
back?
dollar budget, and it only made $30 million. So it
Oh,
did
that's
not
too
do
bad.
They were
Too bad.
signed up for 2 sequels after it. They were going to
Yeah.
do a trilogy, and of course, it didn't do as well. But it got gained life on VHS. As
I'll tell you what, I
did.
remember seeing the ads in the back of comic books, and it
Yes,
said Slam Evil, and
Slam
it showed
Evil, and in fact,
a
you have
close up of
this
the
wonderful,
skull ring,
yeah,
which
this
is what the
wonderful. So I've got
yes,
this.
yeah,
And Lee Falk, we'll talk a little bit. This has got a great poster in here and everything like that. It's a
I
good
was gonna say I somewhere in
it's a
this house
good
I have a poster. They gave out posters when the show opened, like these 11 by 17 show bills, and
yes.
I got one of the Phantom. But no, the poster was cool. It said "Slam Evil." It was a close up of the skull ring that all the Phantoms wear, like the lineage. They pass it
Yes.
on from one to the other. Isn't Patrick McGowan
Patrick
in this?
McGowan is in it, who
The
plays
prisoner. Yeah.
yes, who plays his father. And I think what I really like about this film as well is, you've got all this backstory of, origin stories for comics, and they take
Right.
forever
Right.
and ever and ever. This one I like. It starts the first thing you see is for those who came in late, and it
Yeah.
explains about the Singh Brotherhood, the pirates, and how the Phantom came to be,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in like a minute, and then
Yeah.
it's straight
Yeah.
into the story where you see
Get you
the
up to
Phantom.
speed fast, and they got that rope bridge right in the
Oh yeah,
beginning.
which is
Big truck.
fantastic. And you've sort
Yeah.
of got short round, but not. And it's a
That's
really
yeah.
good opening. I really quite and very Indiana Jones-esque,
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely. Yeah, and
But
Christy
why not?
Swanson. No, I mean, can't complain about the cast. I mean, she's a heartbreaker in this movie too.
Yep.
I just you look back sometimes. There's a couple movies I'll always scratch my head and just wonder. I mean, The Rocketeer, we talked about that. I was like, why isn't this doing better? The
The Shadow,
Shadow.
which we
Shadow's
must talk
another one.
about. I saw that so many times at the cinema. I
I saw
loved
that
it.
in the theaters. I thought it was a great performance. Alec Baldwin, Penelope Ann Miller, Jonathan Winters, Adam Curry. Is it Adam
Tim
Curry?
Curry,
Tim Curry.
you've got
Yeah, and yeah,
Peter Boyle, you've got
Ian McKellen.
Ian
Yeah, everybody.
McKellen. You've got there's so many. It just keeps going
I
and
don't
going.
know. I always sit there and I even watched the beginning of that the other day, just the opening scene. We're talking about the shadow, but
Yeah.
when he's on the bridge and he's got
Yes.
the bad guys and he's like, "You
Oh,
killed
and
them."
in
Yeah,
Surround is
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. Oh, in the theaters it was great because they did it in the surround sound thing with the Dolby.
Directed
But
by another Australian, Russell Mulcahy.
I think herein lies the problem, Ed.
I
It's
need to
us
direct one.
Americans. The reason why we can't break the internet, I'm sorry, buddy. You got to start talking with that American accent again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
That
You
was
did it during the Die Hard show. It cracks
I
me up.
did. I did.
Welcome to the party, pal. I'm like, what the
Yes.
hell's that?
I know. Sorry. So, of course, the Phantom is from the Phantom comics from Lee Falk, which had a
February
big following.
1936. Yes.
1936. In fact,
Right.
here is there's a
Look at
Phantom.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I talked to you over the Christmas break because I was looking at
And
some
this is
Christmas
one of the more
comics.
modern ones.
And I said, "What are these Phantom books?" And it turns out to be you guys in Australia get comic books that we don't get here. There's a
Correct.
line of Phantom comics. I was like, "What?" And the Phantom's hugely popular, not only in Australia but over in Europe as well. That's one
Yeah,
of the
in
main.
Turkey. In fact, in Turkey, they colored him red, which is a
Yeah,
color significant to the Turkish people. So
yeah.
I understood.
I remember
So when
when
they saw the film come out and he was dressed in
purple.
purple, they were
Yeah.
shocked. Now, do you know why he's wearing purple?
No, I was gonna say real quick, but when this movie opened here, everybody was calling him Barney the Purple Dinosaur, which was a
Uh,
kids show. But
I
no,
think they
why is
did
he
really
purple?
well with the Henson's company worked on the suit and they had all the detail in it, and I think it looks pretty good
It's fine. Yeah.
for what it is.
But
Lee Falk originally wanted to have him in grey
oh, and it didn't work
for
well in the
Ghost Who
newspaper.
Walks, and the colorist at the time thought purple would be better, and it
Ugh.
stuck. So
Well, that's kind of like the Hulk. The original comic,
he
the
was.
Hulk is gray,
That's right.
and it was because it was a screw up at the printing press, and it was
Yep.
supposed to be green because it was thinking Frankenstein. So they changed it on further issues. But the first Hulk appearance, he's gray because of a screw up. So
Well,
go for
I was going to say with the Phantom coming out in 1936, it predates Superman,
Yep,
predates Batman.
Batman. Yeah,
Lee Falk also did Mandrake the Magician
magician. Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. And then in Australia, it was oh, geez, Louise.
Oh
So
my God,
it's the Phantom here. My
it's
everything's
so
falling
popular.
down. My
Stop being a
Maskatron just shut off.
Maskatron.
My Maskatron head just fell in the rubbish bin.
We've all been there, Ed.
I
We've
know.
all been
Oh
there.
my Lord. Anyway, this is what happens when you clean up
Oh
the
yeah,
skull
don't
cave.
touch anything. The whole
No
place is
smoking in
wrong.
the skull cave. So what yeah, so basically after the comic came out in 1936, they did a they syndicated it in a like a women's not women's weekly, but that sort of women's magazine.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was basically syndicated from 1936 consistently through 1988, which is I think the longest running comic ever to be syndicated.
yeah.
So
Syndicate.
it's got a lot of you know,
Well, over here, it's always bundled. There was a syndicate that the syndicate was the people that would distribute
yes.
comic strips to newspapers. It was King's Feature Syndicate here in the States, and they had Mandrake the Magician, they
Mhm.
had the Phantom, and they had Flash Gordon. And the reason why I bring that up is because years later, they would take those licenses and combine them for Saturday morning cartoon shows that I would watch here. It was called The Defenders of the Earth, and
Yes.
you had Mandrake, you had Flash
Phantom, you
Gordon,
had
and the
Flash
Phantom.
Gordon.
But then even after that, they did a futuristic version of the Phantom, like Phantom 2049 or some
Yes, you're
nonsense,
right.
where he was in the future. Mark Hamill was one of the voices on that. Well intentioned, but it didn't work out well. It was like I think it was like the early stages of CGI cartoons or something. It just didn't look right. It
Yeah,
didn't.
and they also did a I think it was like a telemovie or a mini
Oh,
series, The Phantom reimagined.
oh, I didn't know that.
It looks like
What,
he's wearing a
Sci-Fi Channel or
purple.
something?
I don't know who made it, but and it doesn't have any. It's got Isabella Rossellini in it, but
Really?
it's pretty horrendous. And he looks like he's
Oh.
wearing a motorcycle helmet or a motocross
Oh no,
outfit.
it's kind of like Captain America when they had that motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't a good that was cooler than this costume, let me say
Oh
that.
really?
But
Really?
it's Kelly was going, how come they haven't remade this film as a, and I go, I know, it'd be a great pulp sort of
I don't know why.
adventure
Maybe it's
movie.
tied up in some kind of legal thing or something.
So I think they were looking at doing a like bringing back Billy Zane and doing something
Oh
years
really?
later. Maybe you can
Well,
ask him at the show,
I
but
will ask him at Terrificon.
if I can get an 8x10 sign of the Phantom signed by Billy Zane,
All
that'd
right.
be
All right.
fantastic.
All right.
I'll send through.
And like
I'll
I said,
PayPal you.
I had Christy Swanson here, and
Yes.
I had, Treat Williams no longer with us, unfortunately, so he won't be coming to the show.
No,
Treat Williams, not only from Connecticut, also had a little part in The Empire Strikes Back in the background.
that's true.
Friends with
And in
Gary.
1941, which was his second film role.
Yep. Oh yeah, we had a bigger role in that. He actually had
Yes.
speaking parts and
Yeah.
such like that. But nice
But
guy
it's
that
a
Treat.
really good film. I would recommend if you've just seen, bits of it. I think what sells it is the production design and Billy Zane's characterization and Xander Drax, Treat
Yeah.
Williams he is a treat because he is just chewing up
Oh, he's over
scenery
the top.
and it's very funny. It is
Yeah.
very funny. It's
When he
just
gets those, when he gets the crystal skulls, I mean, it's
oh
been
yeah,
years,
it's
and I can
beautiful.
remember it.
This is
It's beautiful.
awesome. Yeah, this
I
there's
have. Does he scream, "I have the power" or
something
something
like
like that?
that.
Takes the
Yeah.
skulls and he puts them together. It is Batman 66 esque. It is like
Yes.
watch Caesar Romero
In
or
fact, speaking of that, rumor has it that Adam West was sought after to be in a movie version of it in the 1970s.
really? I did not
Yes,
know that. Well, and unfortunately, Mr. West is no longer here. I could have asked him that when I had him in my hands.
that's all right. That's all right. These things happen.
But
You know what?
you know
Um,
what? No, I was going to tell you, there's a lot of toys about the Phantom. So much so,
there
even a
is.
week or so ago, I saw either Mezco or one of those like really highly articulated, very expensive toy companies was
Yes.
releasing a Phantom action figure. And in fact, I see them occasionally when I go to Target. They make like Flash Gordon and Ming the Merciless,
Yes.
and they make a Phantom figure. I've seen it. It's like
Yes.
about 8 inches, very colorful.
Yeah, they
Old,
look pretty good. And back in the day, back when the film came out, they did bring out Phantom figures, which were
oh, they did.
pretty awful. But I don't have them. I don't know where it is. But I used
I'm
to wear
sure
it
that
for
there was a
years. There
lunchbox.
was
Was there a video game?
I think there is a Phantom video game, but I don't know if it was tied to the movie.
Oh,
But
okay.
they did bring out Phantom rings, and I used to wear a Phantom ring for many years. So he's got two
Was
rings,
there a?
the
I think
fan
there was a
spell
pin.
ring and the friendship ring.
I think there was a pinball machine.
No pinball
You
machine.
got no. Oh,
I'm
there was a
99.9999%.
shadow pinball machine. I
Oh
remember
my
that.
gosh, I played that pinball machine
I was gonna
before
say
the movie came out.
that was one of the best pinball machines ever. Yeah,
It is great, and I wish I had that in my collection.
yeah. well, whatever. Well, The
Something.
Phantom's a good movie.
It
Don't get
is.
confused. Don't hit the Phantom Menace. Don't hit the Phantom Toll Booth, which is I
No.
watched as a kid.
Don't think
That's
Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the amusement park with Kiss, which we've talked
Yes.
about on an earlier
Yep.
episode, or the Phantom of the Opera. Whatever.
We should
It's
talk
not the
about that.
same. Maybe if they
Anyway,
combined that movie with the comic strip, it would be a big hit. He could
that
come
would be
out
fun.
singing.
Why not?
I'm
My
here to
tides, my
save
tides.
you. La la.
You know what else before we get any content matches? Not that we probably would with that singing
No,
voice.
not with that
Mitch,
voice. No.
Mitch, how can you find out a little bit about our show?
Oh, and is it easy as passing on your purple light tight leotard from one manly man to another? All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. You too can come along with me and Ed as we go out there and slam evil, talking about TV, movies, and more right here on Billy Zane's #1 video cast, whatever you
That's
call
right.
these things. What are these things called? We don't know.
I don't know. It's a TV show. It's a TV show, isn't it?
We're like Uncle Milty. I'm Milton Berle.
Okay, and I'm Don Knotts.
Don Nuts. There you go. The chicken and Mr.
I
Berle.
saw him when we were watching Fantasy Island yesterday. He was a
Oh
guest.
well, he's Mr. Furley in my
Is he? I couldn't tell.
Don
He had his
Knotts, yeah.
shirt on. Anyway,
Three's Company. Yeah.
oh, there you go. No, that wasn't him. Wasn't he, Mr.
Yeah, he
Rose?
came in after Mr. Roper. Mr.
Really?
Norman Fell left. Yeah, and then they brought in Mr. Furley, who was Don Knotts.
There you go.
You didn't get Three's Company down there?
No, we had Man About the House.
Oh
which
no, no,
was
no.
a
Three's
which
Company.
it was based on. So remember,
Yeah, I know, but
you Americans.
the Americans, the good one. Suzanne Summers, John
Okay,
Ritter.
yeah, Suzanne Summers, I remember. Signing off. This is Ed Dollister,
This is Mitch Halleck.
and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.